Jim Curtis is not your typical celebrity influencer. At first glance, he might appear as just another polished wellness coach, calm demeanor, gentle voice, Instagram filled with affirmations. But behind that surface lies a man whose life has been shaped by chronic illness, spiritual awakening, and a quiet rise to influence in Hollywood's wellness scene. Now, as he makes headlines for reportedly vacationing with actress Jennifer Aniston, Jim Curtis is suddenly at the center of public curiosity. Born in the early 1970s, Jim Curtis grew up in suburban America with a typical upbringing until life threw him a harsh detour. In his early 20s, he developed a chronic illness that would persist for over 2 decades. At one point, he found himself in college unable to walk, plagued by nerve pain and systemic inflammation that left traditional medicine baffled. These experiences sparked a deep internal shift. He began exploring meditation, breathwork, and the powerful connection between the body and mind. Through years of inner work and alternative healing, Jim developed a unique therapeutic system known as hypno-realization. This method combines self-hypnosis, neuro-linguistic programming, meditation, and quantum manifestation techniques. By using these tools, he claimed to reprogram not only his mindset, but his physical body, eventually recovering from his debilitating health conditions. Rather than turning away from his pain, Curtis transformed it into purpose. He started leading retreats and workshops, helping others who struggled with emotional trauma, addiction, health issues, or toxic relationships. These early experiences eventually culminated in the release of his first book in 2017, The Stimulati Experience: 9 Skills for Getting Past Pain, Setbacks, and Trauma to Ignite Health and Happiness. Part memoir and part toolkit, the book documented his personal transformation and offered readers practical strategies to ignite their own healing. Curtis quickly gained a following. Participants in his workshops spoke of emotional breakthroughs, deep releases, and newfound confidence. His approach blended empathy with structure. Instead of positioning himself as a guru, Jim offered himself as a guide, a man who had been to the depths and returned with wisdom. His sessions encouraged people to reimagine their identity, unlearn inherited pain, and rebuild their self-worth. In 2024, he took his work to another level with the release of his second book, Quantum Manifestation Guide, a workbook for coding a new consciousness, co-authored with Sarah Hadir. This book introduced a hands-on system for transforming core beliefs through journaling, daily affirmations, and identity reprogramming. It became especially popular among wellness influencers and celebrities, praised for its balance of science and spirituality. Soon, Curtis became a go-to figure among A-listers seeking personal transformation. Models like Miranda Kerr, actresses like Julianne Hough, and wellness icons like Nina Agdal praised his work for helping them break through personal barriers. One of his clients even described his sessions as a chiropractic adjustment for the soul. What set Curtis apart was his ability to humanize healing. His programs weren't built on rigid doctrine or mysticism. They were grounded in self-discovery, emotional intelligence, and compassion. His group courses, such as Awaken to Abundance and Breaking Free, became widely popular. Thousands signed up to participate in live Zoom sessions, complete homework assignments, and share progress in supportive online communities. Pricing ranged from affordable self-guided modules to high-end personal coaching, which sold out regularly. His style was calm, inviting, and quietly magnetic. On social media, he posted gentle affirmations. You don't have to fight to be loved. Your identity can evolve, and healing is not about fixing what's broken, but remembering what's whole. These messages weren't just popular, they were powerful. They resonated with followers who were exhausted by hustle culture and hungry for stillness. By 2025, Jim Curtis had become a trusted name in the wellness world. His social following grew into the hundreds of thousands, and his brand expanded internationally. But it wasn't until he appeared in a post by Jennifer Aniston that his name entered mainstream headlines. It began subtly. Aniston liked several of his posts, many of which were centered on self-worth and emotional healing. She later shared a picture of his quantum manifestation guide in an Instagram photo carousel, praising the clarity and peace it brought her. Fans took notice. Not long after, Curtis and Aniston were spotted together at a luxury wellness retreat in Big Sur, California. Reports described them wrapped in a shared blanket, speaking intimately over dinner. Still, nothing was confirmed. The rumors intensified in July 2025, when the two vacationed in Mallorca alongside close friends. Images of the pair riding together, enjoying the ocean, and walking closely stirred media speculation. Some sources claimed it was a romance. Others insisted it was a friendship rooted in healing. Curtis did not comment publicly, maintaining his usual discretion. However, insiders hinted at a deep personal connection, perhaps born from shared values, perhaps something more. Aniston, who has long been vocal about therapy and self-work, found a kindred spirit in Curtis. And for Curtis, who had worked quietly behind the scenes for years, this sudden spotlight was a stark contrast to his usual low-profile life. Despite the headlines, Curtis remained focused on his mission, to help people heal. His studio, described by clients as a sanctuary, not a clinic, continued to offer in-person and virtual sessions. He refined new programs on identity work, emotional detox, and abundance. His mantra remained the same: you are not broken, you are becoming. Curtis is also deeply aware of the dangers of wellness culture: false promises, unqualified influencers, and toxic positivity. He often speaks out against bypassing real emotion with spiritual cliches. Instead, he encourages clients to face their wounds with honesty, to honor their grief, and to integrate their pain into wisdom. Despite being a public figure, Curtis has retained a sense of groundedness. He doesn't flash designer labels or pitch superficial solutions. His Instagram is clean, minimalist, and focused on value, not vanity. Followers describe him as the most normal guy doing extraordinary work, someone who could just as easily be your neighbor as your coach. His career has not been without challenges. Critics argue that his methods, though effective for some, lack clinical validation. Others say the high cost of his premium programs puts them out of reach for those who need healing most. Curtis has addressed this by offering sliding scales and free resources to his community, including weekly live talks and free meditations. He is also working on expanding his reach beyond the celebrity circuit. Plans are reportedly underway for a third book, a possible podcast, and a documentary exploring the intersection of trauma and transformation. He's expressed interest in working with schools, prisons, and veteran organizations to bring emotional healing to underserved populations. Jim Curtis's story is, at its core, one of quiet revolution. He didn't start with fame, fortune, or a massive platform. He started with pain, unrelenting, all-consuming, and lonely. But instead of giving up, he listened. He learned. He adapted. He healed. And then he taught others to do the same. Today, Jim Curtis is considered one of the most impactful transformational coaches working in the wellness space. Whether he's guiding a model through self-worth blocks, helping a single mom find emotional peace, or coaching a Hollywood icon on identity rewiring, his approach remains personal, compassionate, and deeply intuitive. In a world obsessed with speed, Curtis slows things down. In a culture driven by image, he points inward. And in a society that often masks pain with distractions, he offers a different path, one of presence, self-trust, and healing that starts from within. Whether or not his connection with Jennifer Aniston proves romantic, one thing is certain: Jim Curtis has captured public attention not by chasing fame, but by offering something increasingly rare: authentic healing from someone who's lived it. His story is still unfolding, and as it does, more people are discovering that the journey inward might just be the most powerful transformation of all.